Hey everybody, welcome to Noir Bar. And joining me at the bar this evening, I just got 3 people, which is awesome. Bartender needs company. God knows I get lonely up here. We have Eve from down south. How you doing there, Eve?
I'm doing all right, darling. How about yourself?
I'm doing mighty fine. Well, thank you. And we have Farzusmi, flew all the way up from Australia to be here with us, which is always
from really far south.
That's right. Southern Hemisphere. How you doing, Far?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
And your boy Pat. Pat, how's it going?
I need a drink.
Yeah, tell me about it. See,
You're in the right place, sugar.
Right? I haven't actually decided whether I'm going to we'll drink heavily or lightly. I don't know. I'll make up my mind later.
Yeah, you drink heavily for the commercials, Polly.
Right. I drink lightly for everything in between. You know, see, I was talking about this with some people over in Eve's Discord after she had done one of her game streams. By the way, check out Eve's game streams over on her channel, because I'm sure she'll put the link in chat. Oh, wait a minute, before I get started, I want to talk about all the people that were good enough to show up. I mean, look, there's got Evolved Potato here, Delahaze is here, Pop-Tart's here. Hey, Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I see Poppy.
Yeah. And Ryan Walters, and Delahaze, and Grant Lionheart, and Ebony Williams, and fucking...
Ebony in the chat.
Fucking cool. And Manic is here, and Gilcado's here. Cool. Ex-Bubba Hotep was the first one here. Very nice. Damn. Got any rum? Yeah. It's more of a bourbon bar than it is a rum bar, but we keep some for those who are so inclined.
Polly just hands the glass of bourbon, not bourbon, rum at you. Just judges you.
Yes. Here, rummy, enjoy. I was watching, because there's a lot of different ways you can promote yourself in a stream, right? Like, and unless you're looking at, I don't know what, 25,000 plus views per video, making money off of ad revenue is really a thing of the past. I mean, we've gone through our 3rd adpocalypse now, right? I mean, can the ad money get much lower?
I would say the only person in the circles that we run in that I've even known that could make money off of it, I mean, maybe Sinatra.
Yeah.
Just because he gets such a high volume.
Yeah, exactly. He's the only one I know that pulls them big numbers in terms of views and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like really, if you want to do it more regularly than not, like i.e. make the show sustain itself such that you don't have to go take a second job if you want extra income, because this can be a second source of a smaller income stream than your day job, right? You know, or in addition to being fun, it can be a little, you know, you can do more videos because you don't have to go take that second job. Yeah. Well, if you want to do that, that's going to happen through Streamlabs Super Chat fan support, not ad support. And I'm all for fan support because it's democratizing, you know, the content. It's letting the audience speak, you know, and so I'm all for that. But it's how to promote it that's my question. Do you want to just say it constantly? Do you want to get the Nightbot going? I don't know. Chat, you tell me. What's the least intrusive, most motivating thing? I know some people that complain about the Nightbot constantly putting the Streamlabs thing up. I know about people saying you're not promoting your Streamlabs link enough. People have to go looking for it, and you're wasting their time. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the right way to promote it is. And the last thing on earth I want to do is come across like I'm harassing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like constantly rattling that change cup. I mean, nobody fucking wants that shit. Not the audience, not you. I mean, I'm at a loss of how to do it, honestly.
I haven't. I read that stuff.
And every time I go to Streamlabs, I gotta look at fucking Pokemon's face. And Kyokado's like, Streamlabs, Polly. It's in the description. I fixed that.
And I put it in chat.
And I appreciate that.
Well, maybe he's saying, look at your Streamlabs, which means you got to look at Pokemon's face again.
Well, I'm just loading it. That's why I just saw Pokemon's smug, stupid, vapid face again. It's a little mean, but I don't care. I really don't.
No.
Oh, no, we
Vapid
could
is being nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bartender. Aren't we supposed to be surly and salty and all of those things?
And, honest.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hot damn. Gilcado off the top with $125 Australian. Thank you, Gilcado. Deeply appreciated. Well, I'll tell you a little story behind that in a second. He says, Polly, get a Streamlabs instruction manual. So you can actually get a Streamlabs pay me notice instead of the auto funding back. Also, buy yourself a bottle of Mr. Black on Me. It's an Australian-made vodka espresso drink. Oh, okay, I'm interested. A Mr. Black Australian vodka espresso. Okay, my interest is piqued. And Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you very much. Ex-Bubba Hotep, I appreciate it. With the keep talking and take my money. Well, your bartender always appreciates it. I'll keep pouring. So what happened is, and okay, here's my only Boomer Polly story that I'm going to tell of the night on purpose. So I got a Streamlabs, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here saying, hey, what's the best way to pander to my audience and not feel like I'm shaking a change cup in your face,
And not feel like pandering.
Yeah, well, and I'm not certain how to do it. And I think, unlike a lot of people, they're saying, like, no, the way that I do it is fine. And I'm like, but is it? Did you ever think to go around and look at the way different people are doing it differently? Because I see some people advertise on screen. I see other people just mention it verbally. Remember to hit up Streamlabs. And I see other people use Nightbot. Lots of different ways of doing it. What's really the best way? What's the least annoying to the audience? I think that's the best question.
I think it depends on your audience, honestly, because some people are more okay with it than others. I mean, in your case, your audience is practically begging you to give them the link. So, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to make it more available to them, especially when they're specifically asking for you to make it.
No, I hear that, and don't think that I'm not appreciative of the help. Because you know how close I am to getting that dental work, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Polly not in pain. This is a new thing. I don't know. It's been. If you guys haven't heard, hit a 1 in chat about how I lost my filling. Fucking Jolly Ranchers.
Well, why are you chewing them?
Because I'm a moron. Because I'm a moron is the answer. All right.
And bitches get stuck.
Oh, great! We're both retarded. Yay!
Well, I learned a valuable lesson to not chew Jolly Ranchers. Okay, they're so delicious. It's a trap. They make them so delicious that you can't help but want to bite down on them. That's the problem. And they were the
this is a you thing.
And they were the tropical flavored ones too. I think it was a papaya that I had. Oh man!
I just wish they get it thin enough.
Well, it wasn't that it didn't break my tooth. It pulled out a filling because of how sticky it is. You see what I mean? I didn't crunch it in half. I was just kind of like chewing on it a little bit. When I opened my jaw, it pulled the filling right out.
Yeah, this is also why they tell you not to chew minties.
What's a minty, like a little candy mint?
Yeah.
Okay. And Pop-Tart says, Ploy overthinks everything. No, I just don't try and tell people that this is the way that it works when I actually have no idea, because then you come across like a bullshit artist, and who wants that? If you don't know, ask. There's no stupid questions.
Code Dreadful.
But enough of your real world, perfectly insightful examples, Mark.
Never.
No, okay, so here's what happened. Here's my boomer story.
So the Jolly Rancher wasn't the boomer story.
No, come on. If that's just a plain old fuck up. That's not a boomer story. That's a plain young, old, new. It doesn't make a difference.
We're all boomers here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna call pulling a filling out with a Jolly Rancher a boomer mistake, I mean, what? Only old people are subject to that? I mean, who skins their knees and elbows more than anybody? Little kids. So what? Are they a bunch of little boomers? No, it's called a fuck up.
I mean, I don't know, maybe they are boomers. Who knows?
Baby boomers. Get it? Anyway. Yeah, I know. It's rubbing off. So my boomer story is this. I set up PayPal, not realizing that you had to accept certain payments. You had to go into PayPal and accept the donation. There doesn't seem to be, from what I can detect, any rhyme or reason to which ones PayPal does not immediately just process through Streamlabs. It's just some of them, seemingly at random, are set aside that I have to manually go into my PayPal account and accept them. Now, if you don't do that, they expire after 30 days. Checking my email, I saw that a whole bunch of donations had expired. Because I didn't know that. And one of them was Gilcato's very generous $100 donation. $100 Australian donation. And it bounced back to him. And he got a hold of me and said, why has this been redirected to me? And I'm like, what in the who now? So I go check my email and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. And then I found out about the whole you must accept thing. So I don't know. I lost a whole bunch of people's generous donations because they had expired because 30 days had gone by.
So do you think it was the dollar amount, or was it the...
Like I said, there does not seem to be any rhyme or reason. Most of them are from Aussies, but not all. I thought, oh, maybe it's just Australian donations because they're foreign currency. And I'm like, no.
Because we're fucking dodgy, mate. We're a country of criminals.
I mean, you are, but that's beside the point. I mean, was it somebody was...
I don't know where the money's come from.
Oh,
somebody said they were visiting Australia, and they were at the border crossing or whatever at the customs, and they were asked, do you have any convictions? And he says, I wasn't aware that was a requirement anymore.
So
no, nobody.
No.
Okay.
I really quick over on the Streamlabs, Expo Hotep again. Thank you very much for the $5. Says, speaking of pain, Polly, how's the head and the knee? Finally, the knee swelling went down. Man, it took a long time. This is from the tumble down the stairs. The steroidal prescription that I got has to reduce swelling for the concussion that I got has helped. But I'm still having those vision flashes, so the doctor said if they continue on past the end of the prescription, come back and see me, and we'll probably schedule, maybe a CAT scan. We'll see. We'll do the neurological tests again, and it's like, okay. And I'm still getting the vision flashes. They look like sparks rising up off of a campfire, that kind of thing. And it's that's not good.
I get those sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when it happens, when you're just sitting still and looking forward and occasionally feel dizzy, it's that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign. A
couple of weeks after you had the concussion, it's like maybe the swelling hasn't gone down, so I'm gonna have to go see what's going on there. But the knee has come along well, but I am still thinking about incorporating a cane into my wardrobe because canes are cool. I may have been looking at sword canes online. You can get some pretty nice ones.
You neckbeard.
Wow, one of those.
Be careful, because those things can get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
The Big Daddy cane.
Exactly.
My mother has one because she had to start walking with a cane a while back when her hip just finally gave out on her. And she's like, hey, I'm a badass. I'm going to carry a sword cane around. And I'm just like, it's totally my mom, and I'm totally okay with this. However, she's gotten in trouble with it a couple of times.
Is it a county ordinance? Is it a state law? What's the
It's more of a, this isn't obviously a weapon, but it's a weapon, and you should probably let somebody know that you have a weapon. Like, it's things like she took it with her on youth group trips and stuff, and it's like, okay, we know this is a sword cane because you brought it up here and showed it off to the kids, but
right.
We don't want you bringing it, but you kind of brought it with you. And so they were a little upset about that.
Johnny Bonsaco says, no, they aren't. Canes blow. Let me tell you something. I was thinking about this. I don't want just a sword cane. Being the kind of guy that I am, I want like a multi-tool. Like I like...
you want a Swiss Army cane?
That's what I'm saying. You get it, see?
Ollie, you better get a motherfucking shotgun cane.
I want a shotgun cane that doubles as a blowgun. The sheath end of it is weighted, like on the tip, so I can use it like an expandable baton. And then of course it's got the cane, like the cane end. And then of course there's no reason you can't be stylish while lethal. I'd like it to be like a fancy lion's head or something. An otter's head, an otter head cane, huh?
Just so you know, this is what all of your Streamlabs donations are going to, guys.
And donate to the cane fund.
Not cocaine, an actual one.
$60,000.
Donate to Polly's bomb ass cane fund. Come on.
See, I don't.
The otter cane fund.
The otter cane fund. See, I could design the otter cane like the cell phone cases, the otter box. You know, have you ever heard of those or seen them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Like the most indestructible. Well, they advertise themselves that way.
Indestructible, my ass.
Yeah, exactly. They advertise themselves that way, and I think they went with the name Otter because it's like waterproof, like an otter. And it's like, no, they're not waterproof. They're barely water resistant. I think they just named themselves after something cute. But yeah, I got to come up with a Swiss Army cane and call it the Otter cane, and people will be like, why? Shut up. That's why. It's just.
Cause shut up, nerd.
A cane has to be hollowed out so it can smuggle moonshine, Rodline says.
You can't really fit a whole lot of moonshine in a cane. I would go straight for the cocaine because, first off, the meme. And second off,
Yokado says, get
what about Quaaludes?
Wait a minute. Get a Leatherman cane. Does Leatherman make canes? Because I'll be over that, all over that, you wouldn't fucking believe. I mean, I have a couple Leathermans. I really dig them. I carry my multi-tool everywhere. You never know when you're going to need a screwdriver or a bottle opener or a carabiner, or a pair of pliers or wire cutters. I was a Boy Scout. I know how to be prepared.
Is that why you want your Swiss Army cane? You want to always be prepared?
To be honest, I just go a little crazy with tools and gadgets and shit. So, leave me alone. It's fine.
I know the feeling. No, I have a whole toolbox of shit where it's like, I only need it for one purpose, but now it's just there. And Dad keeps giving me cool tools, so it just keeps going in the toolbox. I have no use for any of these. It's just kind of there, so I get it.
Okay, yeah. Ebony Williams says, isn't this supposed to be night 8? Yeah, I launched it off of a template that I had done up in the Creator Studio, and it had night 6, and I didn't change it before I launched it. Fail. Okay, so we're up to Polly Boomer's story, 5 now? It's like we're talking about me tumbling down the stairs, fucking up on PayPal, pulling out my fillings with hard candy, and misnaming the stream.
Well, to be fair, it could technically be night 6. I mean, how many of these streams have you lost so far?
Lost? None. Claimed by a bunch of music pimps? Plenty.
Okay, so lost as in no one can access this shit?
Well, no, those he took down. He hasn't had any, I don't think, completely blocked, have you?
No, because I've tried to go back to somewhere I had the link, and it's just, I can't access it at all.
Because he privated them.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Really quick over on the Streamlabs. Shrouded Angel, thank you very much for the donation. For your cane fund. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't encourage him.
Hey, Inquisitor.
Give him money for his...
Encourage him.
You can give him money for his medical bills, but don't give him money for the cane.
Give him money for the cane. Do it.
If anyone wants to see the cane I was looking at that's high quality yet reasonable price, I'm not saying I'm going to buy it. I'm just saying this is what I was looking at. You can go to coldsteel.com. It's a knife company. They've got a sword cane there. It's pretty awesome. It's nondescript. It's they've got fancy ones, but I'm looking at the basic black one with the classic handle top, and it's high-grade steel sword cane. I was thinking about it. And Inquisitor's in chat. What's up, Quiz? What are you doing up? Jesus Christ, it's late for you now.
Yeah, it is pretty late. I mean, he's in my time zone, and it's 4 a.m. here, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, one thing I've noticed, like, I realize Far lives in, like, the Republic of Aussie so knives are probably fully prohibited.
Jesus.
Well, I really, like, weapon laws in general or anything that could be a weapon are very restricted by law and prohibited. That's all I mean by that. What do you have any knife laws where you're at, Pat? Do you know at all? Like, I'm not asking you where you're at. Just, do you have any idea what they are?
I said not much. Like I'm saying, where I live at here, we can carry around a sword.
Nice.
Yeah, they actually just fixed that here in Tennessee too, because we used to have a length limitation on blades, so you couldn't carry around a sword. But they, it was one of those things. They did it back in the day to prevent dueling, because motherfuckers would just go, you know what, fuck you, we're gonna duel. And it's like, well, shit, people are dying left and right. Let's outlaw anything longer than, like, say, a 10-inch or a 5 or 10-inch knife. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they outlawed anything that was bigger than a large knife, so that people would stop carrying around swords and stabbing each other because they had a disagreement and someone insulted someone else's mother. So,
hey, that's a reason to stick a motherfucker. What you talking about my mother for? Just
wow, I can't wait for those Tennessee sword fights to start up again.
They actually did it back in the day, so they recently rescinded it because they're like, nobody keeps doing this shit anymore. Let's just take it off the books. And it was like, everybody's like, all right,
doing it again.
What was that?
Take it out to the street.
Hashtag bring back dueling.
Well, okay. See, where I used to live at, they had a length limit of, 4 inches or something like that for blades, and they were just like the stupidest. It's so like a 4 1/4 blade is somehow more lethal. It's not, of course, and I get the idea. You got to draw the line somewhere if you're going to draw a line, but then that becomes the question: why draw the line? Like, if you're going to carry a knife and you want it for utility purposes, it doesn't need to be any longer than 4 inches. Says you, commie. I mean, seriously, how many? It's like how the assault weapons ban in the original assault weapons ban as part of the crime bill of 1994 that lasted 94 till 2004 had bayonets, or a bayonet lug, excuse me, as one of the items that makes an assault weapon an assault weapon. And it's like, for all of those inner city bayonettings, what are you even doing? How many times has a civilian ever been bayoneted in the United States? Why are you even including that on the list? It's like, well, it's because it's a military thing, and you guys are just rolling dice with legislation sometimes, aren't you?
It's like, okay, but why though? It's not even so much that people, you would want to argue that people need it or that they're, losing. It's like, why? This just feels like a stupid thing to include.
Rich has a good point. We just throw poisonous snakes at people that we don't like down here. That's our weapons. Well, I mean, is that not the core of what people outside Australia think of Australia? Is that everything's going to kill you? I mean, they've got the most adorable animal in the world, the platypus, which is poisonous and can kill you. Like,
only the males can do that. The females are fine.
Still, I mean, my God. Oh man,
I'm surprised you went for platypus and not quokka.
Which one's the quacker again? They all started to meld.
The one that lives on Rot Nest, which is literally just rat's nest.
Right.
God, I hate Rot Nest.
Well, okay, real quick, over on Streamlabs, Manic for $5. Thank you very much. With sword cane ! See, they want me to get it. It's fine. It's.
That's why I told them not to support it, so they'll actually give you money for it. You're welcome.
I don't know. The quackers, okay, I know what you mean. They're bad. The huntsman spiders are bad, but nothing's worse than that coconut crab. Nothing. That's the worst.
Yeah, no, those are pretty fucking bad.
As Quiz pointed out to me, you know what a group of them are called? Like a school of fish, a murder of crows. It's
Isn't it a nightmare?
A nightmare.
Oh, Jesus.
Have you ever seen one of these?
Something more appropriate.
Have you ever seen one of these things, Pat? A coconut crab?
Mm-mm.
It looks like one of the xenomorphs from fucking Aliens.
Only on Christmas Island.
Then I will never go there.
You leave the wonderful natives of Christmas Island alone. They're a hardy, humble folk. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a picture of a coconut crab. It is.
So don't look at the screen for like the next 5-10 minutes. Gotcha.
Yeah,
It'll be
pretty
fine.
much.
Oko. The last time I looked this up, it gave me a bunch of pictures of dishes that combine coconuts and crabs.
As you would think it would be. But, you know, we don't live in a perfect world.
Well, because, you know, Google's looking at you going, oh, yeah, sure, you want coconut. Oh, wait, you want what? You want this monstrosity? No, you obviously meant you want to just cook something with coconut and crabs, right? Because you couldn't possibly want to see this.
You know what I find interesting? The description of it, both on Wikipedia and on this encyclopedia site that came up when I looked it up on DuckDuckGo. It says, a species of terrestrial hermit crab. That's right. It's so big, they need to specify it's from Earth. Because you could actually think it came from fucking space. That's my guess. I'm assuming they said terrestrial because it's land dwelling. I have more fun thinking it's because everyone assumes it's a fucking alien. Here we go. There's that. Play capture. Look at that thing! Yeah, I guess you guys are gonna have to wait for it to come up. But
we're gonna have to wait.
Like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's a coconut crab. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen to the.
Oh my Jesus! What the fuck?
You see that thing, Pat? Look at that.
Yeah, I see it. Like, dang.
Fucking bin.
Look at it going for honey, there's a coconut crab going for the garbage. Let it. Just leave it alone.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
It could just let it take what it wants.
See, this is why I don't like pests like crabs, insects, flying insects of any sort that are so big that you actually need to get an implement to deal with them. Like locusts. You could punch, all jokes aside, punch a locust out of the air and it still might keep coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't feeling it.
That's fucking, it's like, wait a minute, I need to get a bat to deal with a flying insect? Why are people still living in these places? It's like the giant beetles that are so big that your whole foot won't crush them. It's because it's bigger than the bottom of your foot. When there's crabs outside,
I need you deceased right now.
Well, when there's crabs outside that you actually need a shotgun to take care of, it's time to rethink your residence, is what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Actually,
yeah, you gotta see the cockroaches down here.
No, I'm fine with not seeing the cockroaches.
Oh man, the big Texas cockroaches, boy.
I have been instructed to shame Polly for streaming against Alex for Monkey. So apparently it wasn't Alex, it was Monkey who sent him over here to tell me to shame you.
Well,
so hold on.
I tried to explain that he was going to be streaming against him. He said he did not care.
Hold on. Warren told Eve. I'm seeing Warren Malson saying, Cassie, shame Polly for streaming against Alex for Monkey. So Monkey told Warren to tell Eve to tell me, shame on you.
I guess the gist of it.
Well, I indeed
Pass your
feel
own messages, monkey. Goddamn.
Going through the proper channels.
Did he ever go through some fucking channels?
At least 4 of them.
Well, we better be careful. The last time I was streaming, Monkey didn't like it. He called the cops on us. It was...
Really?
Well, that was our joke, because we're an illegal saloon here at Noir Bar. We're running against the law, so all of a sudden everybody, the cops busted in, so we had to get the hell out.
So what you're saying is Monkey's a narc.
Monkey, yes, is a narc. He's repeatedly said that he don't rat, but I don't know. The cops showed up right after he said he didn't like the fact we were streaming. I'm just saying. Makes you think. Yeah, well, Gilcado makes a good point. Polly had this stream planned for at least the past 27 hours or so. Yeah, no kidding. Well, Gilcado asked me last night over DMs, when are you going to stream? And I said, tomorrow night. And I asked Pat last night if he wanted to stream tonight. So there you go. I had something that I wanted to talk about here tonight. I have a little window open here. 9 utterly bizarre facts about famous gangsters.
Well, okay.
I mean,
are they all chickens?
No. I mean, why talk about...
Are they all telling us about good deals?
Really quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Evolved Potato. 1, platypuses are venomous. 2, if we want to hurt someone, we'll just punch the motherfucker. All right, well, there you go. But, I mean, I guess you could do that. But I mean, aren't there a lot of knifings in Australia? Isn't that a thing?
Are you thinking of Britain?
No, I realize there's a lot of knifings in Britain, but I thought there was, like, knifings in Australia was a thing as well. No?
Kind of. I guess. I don't know, I hear more about car crashes, honestly.
Well, when you start having meth problems like they do in West Virginia, you let me know.
Yeah, a bit beyond that now, mate.
Really?
No, we have a huge meth problem. Just saying.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things. We're going for, like I was telling Pat and Eve here earlier, there's lots of different streams where you can tune in for the same kind of thing. We want this to be kind of like late night bar conversations. It's lots of yarns, stories, good laughs, things of that kind. You know, there's, and let's talk about what gangsters got up to. I love the first one, man. They're starting off with a bang here.
Real quick, Polly.
Yeah.
Evolved Potato wants you to check your Streamlabs, please.
I did. I read out his stream.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was the one that, 1, platypuses are venomous, and 2, Aussies will just punch someone. They don't need weapons. Australia has super meth problems. Is it just me, or is like meth gonna like bring down Western society, or at least gut it from the inside?
I don't know.
No.
Probably.
It just caused them to dance around, you know what I'm saying, fighting for climate change.
What? Is that what you're saying? The people that are protesting are actually a bunch of meth heads?
Yeah, they own something.
Would you really be surprised?
I would be surprised, 'cause like I said, it's like when I see these climate change and things like that, it reminds me of how they were acting like back in the damn 60s and shit like that. And a lot of them was seriously on some serious drugs.
Well, okay, Evil One says, what the fuck do you mean meth problems? West Virginia, we don't have a meth problem, we have an opioid problem. Hey, I'm actually perfectly willing to believe it. There's some YouTubers that I watch that are either currently in or were from West Virginia, and they talk... They've got all the sympathy for me, like when they talk about the ravages of drug addiction that are going on in West Virginia. Like, maybe I'm wrong that it wasn't meth. I mean, they talked about meth. Maybe it's more opioid than anything, but like West Virginia's got it hard right now, man. Like, you know, everyone knows someone who has had a drug problem. It's rampant there. Very little help to address it. You know what I mean? It's spread out communities, so it's like, you know, the stuff spreads from one to the other. I mean, they just talk about how bad it is for family members and friends of theirs, and it's like, Jesus, really? You never hear that on CNN or Fox. At least I have it, how bad the drug problem is in West Virginia. And that's no good. That's no fucking good. Oh, all right. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring everyone down. That's where I was getting that from.
Jesus, that was depressing, Polly.
Yeah.
Please tell us about the gangsters.
Well, I don't know. You depressed the shit out of me when you were telling me what it was like in Western Australia with meth. I'm like, good God. See, this is why I say, like, okay, meth, you don't need to grow it anywhere. It can be produced and moved around because it's just produced industrially or in small batches, right? So it can be produced in large, small batches anywhere the fuck you want to make it. It gives you a really strong, long-lasting high that's very quickly debilitating over time and is extremely addictive. Is it just me, or is this like the worst of all things?
Yeah, no, pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, for those of you who don't know, Lucky Luciano, Charles Lucky Luciano, what was his name before he changed it, before he Americanized it? It was Carlo Lucania, I believe. He got an STD on purpose to dodge the draft. Jesus. That's dedication.
My dude was hardcore.
Yeah, it's like, I ain't going to war, and I mean it. Charlie Lucky Luciano was one of the lawless kings of his time and remained so even after his eventual deportation. Various biographers have struggled to sum up his life, and in doing so, numerous colorful stories with varying levels of truth have cropped up about the man. One story on how he dodged the draft in World War I is perhaps the most bizarre. At 19, Luciano was petrified that his finances would be lost should he be shipped. Oh, that his fiancés would be lost. Hey, why you spelled that halfway between finances and fiancés? At 19, Luciano was petrified that his finances would be lost should he be shipped overseas. In an attempt to dodge the draft, his friends advised him that a hearty case of the clap should do the trick and allow him to stay at home.
Oh my God.
At first, Luciano strongly resisted the idea, telling his friends in no uncertain terms that they could do it to themselves. Eventually, his young friend, Bugsy Siegel, convinced him and pointed him in the direction of a young lady of the evening, and so Luciano avoided the draft, though at a painful cost.
What?
Now,
okay.
You tell me. The clap, chlamydia, is that worth it to not go to war?
No. God, no.
I'm thinking. I don't know, man. Which war was it?
World War One.
Yikes. I mean, like, all three of them were bad. So it's one of those things, if you knew there was an easy way out of not going.
Okay. I have to ask. All three of them? So what counts as World War? What's the other?
Well, I mean,
what's the other
sorry,
one?
I was also including Vietnam.
Oh, okay. See, I was going to say, which one's on the other side? The Civil War? The Spanish-American War? The Korean War, which you completely forgot?
I meant the ones that, okay, all four of them were bad. My bad, homie.
Well, I mean, there was... If you had a choice, not that you would want that choice. I mean, World War I was pretty fucking bad. Trench warfare, no penicillin readily available, lice everywhere. Jesus Christ, the ration condition, as bad as World War II and Vietnam could be. My God, World War I. Poof. Evil One says, check your Twitter or your Noir Bar hashtag. I will, actually, right after this story. I'm going to go check out hashtag Noir Bar and see what's been going on there. I haven't looked there in a while. Bugsy Siegel tried to fix his hairline using voodoo.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
this
Whatever works for you, buddy.
Well, you got to admit that these guys are all showing a lot of dedication so far. I really don't want to go to war, and I really, really want to keep my hair.
Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, we have entire like groups dedicated to solving the problem of men's receding hairlines and male pattern baldness and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Well, let's see what he did back in his time. Benjamin Bugsy Siegel was larger than life and is perhaps the second most well-known figure in the 20th century American underworld. As the guy who created the idea of Las Vegas as we know it and opened the first famous bar there, let's be honest. Siegel's exploits, up until his demise in 1947, were the stuff of movies. His demise? You mean when he got machine gunned through the window while reading his newspaper in the evening? Come on. That's more than
sounds appropriately demising.
Well, I mean, okay, it is a demise, but I'd like to think if I was machine gunned to death, somebody would just say it. Right? As with Luciano, many biographers have tried to capture his story, and various accounts of the man have cropped up over the years. One anecdote from the pulpy biography, We Only Kill Each Other, stands out as a particularly weird story. Siegel was obsessed with his looks, and as a result, worried when his hairline began to thin. Reportedly, he once cut off a lock of another man's hair, went home, and burned the hair in some sort of attempt to use magic to get his own hair to thicken. Okay. This of course didn't work. You're kidding. Siegel's hair continued to thin as other men's stayed thick. This particular story has never cropped up in any of the film or television shows that feature Siegel as the character. Most likely because it's...
I wonder why.
Yeah. Because it's too bizarre, even for a man as showy as Las Vegas itself. Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever seen the film Bugsy with...
No, because I don't even know who the guy is, Polly.
No, the actor. I'm trying to think of the actor right now who was in the film called Bugsy. He played Dick Tracy. What's his name?
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty. Thank you. I mean, Warren Beatty ain't going to be getting his hair cut by the studio hairdresser to make it look like his hair's thinning. Come on. Somebody as egomaniacal as that guy, a Hollywood actor today? They're not going to pretend to have thinning hair.
I'll be right back.
There, any.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I actually know this story about John Dillinger once escaped prison using a block of wood. It's true. He carved a gun out of a block of wood and faked them all out, made him think it was real.
Well, shit.
The weirdest legend about the life of John Dillinger has already been put on screen in nearly every biopic centered on the famous bank robber. While incarcerated, Dillinger managed to escape custody, passing armed guards with the help of his own weapon, a block of wood carved to look like a gun. It's almost too good to be true. After all, how did he fool so many people with what was essentially a theatrical prop? Still, Dillinger was able to escape federal custody somehow, and if there's an alternate explanation, many history buffs don't want to hear it, nor is there any evidence for it. Dillinger's escape is better than fiction, and has secured itself in a place in American folklore. Well, his gang buddies on the outside paid off one guard to help him get from one spot to another, and then he stuck the gun that he had carved into, like, to look like a revolver. He stuck it in a guy's back, and he says, "Hey, motherfucker, I got a gun that got smuggled into me. You're going to take me out the front gate." And did, like, used it. You're going to pretend you're escorting me, and we're going out the front gate. And did. It was a holding prison. It wasn't like a full-on prison where he was serving time. He knew that that was his chance to escape and got out. And I mean, it's John Dillinger. Yeah, the guy had murdered a great number of people. There was no question in the guard's mind that this guy had a gun and would be willing to use it. I mean, he's a famous fucking gangster that's famous for blowing people away at the drop of a hat. Of course he believed him. Rising up.
Just kind of casually steal that idea.
Yeah. You're going to steal that idea in case you get locked up?
No. But now that you mention it, yes, maybe. That too.
Hold on. to open this. The next story is about how Al Capone shot himself in the balls. Yeah.
Trying to stuff it.
I was actually able to find the original story. In the Chicago Daily Times. And there's the original story from the newspaper. Wow. Gangster shot with his own gun. Yeah, this is from
It was a twin ignition motor.
Look how big the ad is, right? It's
Yeah.
I know it's
Oh no, that's something that always entertains me when you look at news, like old newspaper articles. It's just how big the fucking ad is compared to the actual story itself.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always massive, unless it's something stupid like some of the Emu War stuff.
The world has a new and finer motor car. It was a twin ignition motor that carried the Lindbergh over the Atlantic. Here's the tiny little story off to the side that we're actually reading, and this is from the 1928 Chicago Daily Times of September 22nd. Scarface Al Capone, ruler of the Chicago's gangland, has been shot, but not by the gangland, which months ago decreed his death. Actually, I should read this like an old-timey newsreel. The gang lord, whose every move is guarded by no less than 12.
No, that's awful. Stop. That was terrible.
What was wrong with it? I was just trying to get into the... Everything. Okay, well.
What did I come back to?
Bar doesn't like my impression of an old-timey newsreader.
It just doesn't work, okay?
The gang lord, whose every move was guarded by no less than 12 of the most watchful gunmen ever assembled, shot himself accidentally, according to reports today. Capone lies in St. Margaret's Hospital at Hammond something, suburb of Chicago. He is wounded in the right and left legs and in the groin. According to the current story, Capone shot himself last Saturday morning after he and Johnny Patton, familiarly known as Boy Mayor of Bunham, had completed a round of golf on the Bunham golf course. It seems Capone had varied from his usual habit of going about armed. Had varied from his usual habit of going about armed, and had carried a .45 caliber revolver with him on his round of golf. Reports say that the gun was just discharged accidentally as Capone stepped into Patton's car. The bullet plowed down through the flesh of the right leg, narrowly missed the abdomen, and embedded itself in his left leg. Holy fuck.
Am I the only one who doesn't think this was quite accidental?
What are you trying to say? Patton just blasted him and this is the story they came up with?
I mean, crazier shit's happened.
Yeah.
I don't know, when a gangster accidentally, air quotes, gets shot, you start to wonder.
Fair enough. I mean, it was like when the current head of the former head, I should say, of the Gambino crime family was shot dead in his driveway like a year ago. Turns out it was not a gang hit. And it's like, yeah, right, a mob boss gets rubbed out in his driveway as if that wasn't a gangland hit. No. It was just a crazy person that knew who he was. Knew that he was a mob boss and went to his place and shot him dead. Because, he was nuts.
Yeah, because why not,
I mean... No, I was just going to say, yeah, but then that guy didn't live very long either, so I'm sure of it.
Here's the full story from Capone's caddy saying that when he telling the story of how he got shot. I'm just seeing if there's any additional detail. Like, this is a story years and years later that his caddy who managed to survive is telling him. This is what it was like to golf with Capone. He was actually a pretty terrible golfer. They left cigar butts all over the course. That sounds about right.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Well, fuck it.
Hey, young lady, show some respect.
What?
No.
Because that's how they'd say it, too.
Well, that's actually a good question, Quiz asks. What happened to Patton after he got out of the hospital? Did he get killed? Because if it was an actual accident, you would think, okay, that's no problem. But if he actually meant to shoot him, like was trying to kill him, you'd think Capone would have probably had him wiped out. I don't know what happened to Patton after the fact. That's a good question.
Just mysteriously disappeared, you know?
Right?
Depends on if they came to some kind of an agreement about it. Like, hey, this happened, but we're going to look the other way because XYZ PDQ.
Prohibition kingpin Arnold Rothstein never drank alcohol. I can believe that. There's plenty of drug kingpins who aren't crackheads. Right? Don't get high on your own supply? Come on.
Yeah.
Anyone? No? All right.
Yeah.
The Arnold Rothstein. Isn't this the guy who fixed the 1919 World Series?
Yes, because I totally know who that person is.
Paid off the White Sox. Yeah, right here. See, look, okay. Savvy TV viewers might already be fairly knowledgeable about Arnold Rothstein, courtesy of Michael Strauberg's work on Boardwalk Empire. That was a really overrated show, guys. But for those of you who are new to the mobster game, Rothstein is considered the father of the mob as we know it. Known as the Big Brain, Rothstein is perhaps most infamous for fixing the 1919 World Series. Most notably, he was also a king of prohibition and was behind a great deal of New York's bootlegging empire in the Roaring '20s. But interestingly enough, Rothstein himself was a teetotaler, refraining from ever drinking alcohol. Instead, his drink of choice was milk. He drank a huge quantity of milk. He was also frequently suffering.
What is this, Platty?
Wow.
That's an unnecessary cheap throw.
I'm gonna snitch on you.
He drinks a lot of milk. Just saying.
For drinking a glass of milk is fine. We've been over this. There's nothing weird about it.
No, it's fucking weird.
You're the weird one.
What's wrong with milk?
Yeah, see?
Why is drinking a glass of milk weird?
Because it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, I put milk in tea.
Milk doesn't taste good.
No.
Gayest person on YouTube says real men mainline their product, especially the guy with the coconut crabs. It's okay. He was a teetotaler. He drank a huge quantity of milk. He also frequently suffered from stomach trouble, leading biographers to wonder if perhaps the man was lactose intolerant. Jesus Christ.
Maybe he thought he was a hard ass because he's lactose intolerant, but he drank milk anyway.
If drinking milk upsets your stomach, you're going to be aware of it, and you don't need biographers after you're dead to tell you that that's the case.
I mean, like, that's why he did it. He's like, yeah, this upsets my stomach, but I'm too hardcore. I don't give a shit.
I know this is going to make me want to vomit and have wrenching pain, but I'm tough. I'm going to drink this milk, damn it. Oh, man. Gilcado, don't start a tea fight in chat. Don't do it. It's just...
Oh, my God. I've got a lot of people just going like, fire is weird. Like, no, I'm not.
Of all potatoes even taking a side against you. Now you're in trouble. Of all potatoes easy to get along with, far look, you're even pissing off the great people. Okay.
don't understand. Okay.
Okay. At only 3 years old, the same Arnold Rothstein tried to kill his brother. All right. Arnold Rothstein contains an even stranger anecdote. He suffered from extreme jealousy as a child, believing that everyone loved his brother more than him. When his mother took his siblings out of the city to visit relatives, Rothstein's father found him sobbing in a closet. That everyone loved his brother and no one loved him. Okay.
Oh, poor baby.
It's also reported in his biography, Rothstein, that his childhood jealousy nearly bubbled over into violence. Rothstein's father apparently once found Rothstein hovering over his brother's bed with a knife, with the full intention to kill him. While nothing happened,
Jesus.
It's enough to send a chill up a spine imagining a young Rothstein on a mission to do away with the perceived threat of his older brother. Jesus Christ.
Well, okay then.
Mickey Cohen was a devoted dog dad. I don't know who that is or what that means. All right, let's find out. Mickey Cohen.
Dad?
Dog dad.
So what, like, someone that's really into their pets?
Pretty much.
I hope not. Like, I hope that they didn't use that phrasing back then. I'd like to think that people calling pets their... Oh, God, have you heard fur babies? That just creeps me out when people say that. That's just... Like, I understand thinking of
totally don't use that phrase.
What's that?
Huh? Nothing.
Don't... I can understand thinking of your pet as a beloved companion. But your children? Okay, pump your brakes. You're getting weird. Seriously, I can get really thinking of your pet as a member of the family. That's cool. You know, more power to you. But, you know, stop short of saying things like fur baby. That's just weird. Mickey.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all just haters.
Everyone calls them fur babies now to really get on Polly's nerves.
Y'all are just haters.
What'd you say, Pat?
What up?
What? No, I thought I heard you say something and then stopped.
Oh, no, that was just me laughing.
Okay. Mickey Cohen was Los Angeles' pint-sized Capone. He took over Los Angeles' scene following the demise of his mentor, Bugsy Siegel, who was machine gunned to death. Cohen hopped in.
Convenient.
Did anyone bother to find out where Cohen was on that day?
No.
Cohen hopped in and out of jail, returning to his home city following each release to continue his unlawful activities. Well, lesser known than some of his contemporaries, he was just as vicious as they were, ruling the LA scene with an iron fist. He was also a devoted father to his dog, Tuffy. The dog was perhaps even more... Tuffy?
Oh my god. Tuffy.
The dog was perhaps even more beloved than Cohen's wife.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's just sad.
Cohen was so devoted to his pup that he even built a miniature version of his own bed for the dog to sleep on.
Jesus, man.
Okay, that's just weird. The dog proved to be hardy as its owner. When a bomb took out part of Cohen's house, Tuffy was unharmed, as were Cohen and his wife. Something tells me he just really didn't care one way or another if his wife survived. Capone's friends called him Snorky. Snorky. All right. One of the most notorious figures in American history, Al Capone cut a swath through Chicago up until his trial in 1931 for tax fraud. Interestingly enough, Capone was never convicted of murder. Everyone knows that. Capone's story has been captured in books, films, and television with the frightening mantle of Scarface thrown around him due to 3 scars on his face from a bar fight he had with an insulted woman's brother. Well, that'll teach you. See? You say some bad shit, someone pulls out their sword cane and deals with it as a matter of honor. However, Capone never liked the nickname Scarface. In fact, most of his friends called him Snorky. Now, Snorky was slang for a well-dressed gentleman, so it's not a bad name. But considering Capone's cruelty, it seems like an odd choice. Why?
If it's slang back in the day, then it's not really a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't even get what they meant by that. Considering Capone's cruelty, it seems like an odd choice. Snorky? Why does that sound like someone who does cruel things? I'm gonna shove this snorkel up your ass. I don't. What's the?
I guess maybe because it was considered a nice name. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It sounds. I get you. It sounds friendly. Meyer Lansky inspired a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Okay. Meyer Lansky, another one of Siegel and Luciano's cronies, managed to avoid the fates of his counterparts. He was never jailed, despite the U.S. government chasing him, and managed to live until he was 80 years old. Unlike Luciano and Siegel, he tended to avoid showboating and celebrity. It's most likely why he was able to live to such a ripe old age. However, he did receive one odd tribute. One rapper affiliated with Wu-Tang Clan goes by the stage name Maya Lansky in honor of the man. It's hard to say whether Lansky would have liked having been a member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
It's hard to say whether this gangster would have been liked being a member of a rap. What? Stop.
I'm going to take a wild guess.
Hold on.
And getting this from? Like, where is this from? It's not from BuzzFeed, is it?
No, it's not BuzzFeed.
It sounds like it's BuzzFeed.
Yeah. No, see, I'm just going to take a wild guess that the Jewish gangster who hung out with all the Italian mobsters would not have wanted to be a member of Wu-Tang Clan. Now, now, admittedly, they are Shaolin's finest, but nonetheless, I can't see it. I'm just going to take that.
Oh, God.
I think he only, Lansky only died in like the 80s because, like he lived in 1980. Lived so goddamn long. Most of the guys didn't make it that long.
Oh, God.
Let's see. The most gruesome and terrifying murders committed by the mafia.
I can only imagine.
Well, 12 extremely petty reasons gangsters used to kill people.
They looked at you funny.
That's what they're all gonna be. I mean,
your money.
They're like just 12 dot points of they looked at you funny. 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 Like that's
Some guy bumped into you in a bar.
Some guy looked at you girl funny.
Okay, you know what? Let me tell you two stories that I actually know. Gangster never gets his fucking credibility, okay? One, James Burke. If any of you have ever seen Goodfellas, that's Robert De Niro's character in that film. In the film, he goes by Jimmy Conway, because at the time of the film, Jimmy Burke was still alive and in jail. So they couldn't use his name without his permission, and there's no way he was going to give them their permission, so let's just change his name, and then we don't need to, right? A lot of the realities of who Jimmy Burke was are definitely portrayed in that movie well, especially if you go reading biographical works that are... I mean, don't get me wrong, Goodfellas is a really, really entertaining film, but it's not intending to be historically accurate. It's just intending to tell a good story, which it does very well. But Jimmy Burke, in a lot of ways, was far worse than he's presented. Far scarier, far more maniacal. Sorry, manic, but it's true. Of the that he's presented in the movie, like he was a drunken killer and quick to kill you, and not an Italian. He was an Irishman, but he was so good at stealing.
Oh, sure, blame the Irish.
Well, in this case, it's deserved. What blows my mind is he was taken so seriously as a cold-blooded killer that he scared made guys. Guys that were made members of Italian crews that had protection up the ass, and they were still scared of him because he would kill you and not really give a fuck about getting killed. He wouldn't give a fuck about jail, and that's, a guy with nothing to lose, right? Somebody who's willing to act that way. I mean, for Christ's sake, the guy was so into stealing, he literally named his sons Jesse and James.
What, like Team Rocket?
No, like Jesse James, the famous Western thief. The famous Western bank robber.
Which is probably also the inspiration for Jesse and James from Pokemon as well.
Oh God, you brought yeah,
That's what she's referencing.
No, let's just go with that. I'm sure the violent Irish mobster was really into poker men. I just
Makes sense to me.
So that's where Team Rocket came from.
Oh my God.
My God, you get. So, one night, well, let me tell you first. First of all, it was people related this story more than Henry Hill. Henry Hill's story that Goodfellas is based on. Ray Liotta's character from that film. Other people related this same story, especially snitches whose testimony has subsequently been declassified and is available for reading. Everybody tells the same stories about James Burke, Jimmy. That's what is so scary about the guy. He really, really was this way. He had a mental list of people that he wanted to kill. And when he would come across them and encounter them.
You don't?
Well, yes, but he actually, like, his list was forever getting smaller because he was actually killing these people.
You actually had to think about that for a second.
It's called not incriminating yourself. Let it go. He had a mental list, and whenever he would start drinking heavily, that's when he would start talking about going and finding, hey, let's go find Bobby, guys. And it's like, no, Jimmy, just let it go, man. No. Remember the other night? And it's like, yeah, Jimmy, remember the other night. Okay, well, let's go find him. Because he was too drunk to drive, and he's pressuring them to, hey, drive me around so I can find this guy and fucking kill him. And we know the 7 or 8 bars that all of us hang out at. It's not going to be that hard to find one of them because they all hung out at the same places. He's either at this card hall or this pool hall or this bar or this restaurant, you know. One night they're sitting there and they're playing poker, and Jimmy's starting to tie one on. And 2 different people related the same story and didn't realize that both of them were snitches. The one snitch didn't realize the other guy was a snitch too, and they both went and told the same story to the cops, which means that it's extremely likely this actually happened. A bunch of guys sitting around, 5 guys at a card table. 2 of them are the snitches who tell the story to the cops later to explain how dangerous Jimmy Burke was. Jimmy's tying one on. They're drinking shots. It's like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning now. And this guy's starting to bust Jimmy's balls. He's starting to make fun of him because he's a made guy. And it's like, I'm with the Lucchese crew. And so, you know, I'm a made guy. You can't fuck with me. So he's making fun of Jimmy. He's making fun of Jimmy, constantly calling him the Irishman. Hey, why don't you go get some fucking potatoes, etc., busting his balls because he's the only not Italian in the room. Eventually, Jimmy gets fucking mad enough and slams his fucking cards down on the table and says, that's it. You just made the list. And immediately the guy puts his cards down and goes, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I was kidding. I was kidding, Jimmy. Calm down. And started begging with his hands out in front of him. Jimmy, seriously, tell me it's okay. So he goes, no, that's it. You made the list. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
That guy disappeared. Like 6 months later, he disappeared and his body was never found. And he was ruled, because it takes, 6 or 7 years of somebody to be missing to be declared legally dead for insurance purposes and so on.
Something like that.
Yeah, like whatever the New York state rules were, because this was happening in New York, he was ruled dead because he had been missing for more than 7 years. 6 months later, he disappeared and nobody knew what happened to him. Most likely, Jimmy Burke killed him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Can you imagine somebody with that kind of temper who yet at the same time has that much control? Because you think someone who was that bloodthirsty would have just shot the guy right there, like in a fit of rage. He has the ability to hold murderous rage at bay till a certain time when he's in the mood. I mean, fuck me. Ryan Walter says, Jimmy Sinatra, dead to me. Pat, Sinatra's always telling me that I'm dead to him. I don't. Geez, you don't show up for a couple of streams because you got a day job, and the next thing you know. This is the same guy that, interestingly, what he ended up getting convicted on is he was convicted for a murder of Richard Eaton, if I remember correctly, was the guy's name. He was a cocaine dealer that had sold Jimmy 200 grand of blow, but it was mostly filler. It had been stepped on so many times that he basically sold him baby laxative. Very little cocaine in it at all. So he kind of like played him for a sucker. Now, whether Eaton knew or not that the coke was that bad, the point is you just ripped off Jimmy Burke. Okay, so this was down in Florida that this happened. Jimmy tells Henry Hill, I'm going on vacation for a bit. I'm going to Florida. And he's, what are you doing down there? He's like, I'm just going to go take care of have some fun, sit in the sun. Okay. Richard Eaton goes missing. And nobody can find him. And later on, he's put on trial under the most scant evidence for Eaton's murder. Jimmy Burke is put on trial for Eaton's murder. The thing that basically sewed the case up is Henry Hill testifying that a week or two after he got back from Florida, Henry asked him, so whatever happened with that guy? And then here's the single line. I whacked the fucking swindler out. And that got him a murder one charge. Conviction, rather.
Jeez.
Yeah, that to me that just seems thin as fuck. It's more like he was convicted on his reputation than anything. You know?
Yeah.
Of all potatoes says, can't everyone just hold their rage until they need it? No. Most people calm down over time, actually. Am I the only one that calms down over time, or do you guys just build your rage?
No, that is usually what happens. You calm down over time.
I try to keep myself calm. Like, hey, shit.
I don't know. There's something frightening to me about a woman who doesn't want to. Like, you know, I'm glad Far said that. Like, what about you there, Eve? Like, it's just.
What did I say? Sorry.
You didn't say nothing. That's what's scaring me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped away for a second again.
I love the idea of I'm scared of the idea of a woman who's just like has her murderous rage building in her, and like that's how.
Well, like Becky.
Yes, that's how you end up with rat poison in a sandwich one day that a woman gives you. You know, she's mad enough to, that's it. Fuck it, I've had it, and that's it for you.
It just builds and builds and builds until finally, you know, I think that's when she's like, you know, divulging that plan in her head, like, you know, how can I kill this motherfucker without being caught?
Guys, they already have an entire TV show about this. It's called Snapped.
Oh yeah, Snapped.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that show.
You do?
It is. Yeah, and the wild part about that entire show, well, that's where I get a lot of my Psycho Rick, you know, like content from and things like that. And the trip out about that show is usually like when they kill, their motivation is basically greed. You know, they're trying to get like the insurance money, and that's how they get caught.
I can't watch Snapped because Snapped is like the end of the character arc for everything that I see on what I call the grievance networks, Lifetime and W, and like it's all stories about women victims. Her husband beat her whatever beat her. It's like the night I watched that 3-part surviving.
Nosy neighbor came in to talk about her laundry.
It's like the night I watched that 3-part Surviving R. Kelly documentary. I had never seen so many victim stories in my life just during the commercial breaks. It's like, join us next week where a woman is victimized by her ex-lover, and the week after that, another woman is victimized by her lover, followed by another story of a woman being victimized by her lover. And it's like, oh my God. And Snapped seems like just a whole lot of conclusion stories to victim narratives, you know?
Well, Snap was on Oxygen. It's like, yeah, it's like they'll spend all week, you know, like talking about women victim, victim and things like that. And then all of a sudden Snap will come on like Sunday where I live at, and it's basically all these, you know, these violent, vicious ass women. Like,
you know, BG's got a good point. I really wish people would calm down. Politics lately, no one will let things go. Yeah, no shit. I mean, they still haven't gotten over the 2016 election. Guys, look at the year.
They won't.
They won't. I thought how long is it going to take them to get over it? You're right. They won't.
And we're about to renew that butthurt.
I'm saying, Just imagine 2020 because it's like because number one, impeachment is not going to work, and Trump, I'm saying, he's going into 2020, man, with a whole lot of freaking ammo and all that shit right there. It's like our monkey said, like these Democrat nominees and stuff like that, they have nothing to fucking to offer, and so they're doing everything they can to try to get rid of Trump because, like he said, like Pelosi just doesn't. She just has no confidence in these people. I understand because look at these folks, man. Biden, Warren, Harris, Booker, Buttigieg, whatever the fuck his name is. Shit.
I never hear
These
anyone
people
say
look
his.
like-
I never hear anyone say his name the same way twice. It's great. Yeah.
Dance a jig. I don't know shit.
Dance a chick. Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do, but one thing that it is clear to me, I think it's important to take a look at the way 2016 ran in terms of, like I said, you got all these Democrat or Republicans, right? There's like 16 of them at the beginning, and they were all fighting between each other on who could rip up the nuclear deal and financial deal with Iran faster, who could secure Second Amendment rights faster, who could balance the budget and lessen expenses faster. That's what they're fighting, because they're fighting a conservative audience, or for the popularity within a conservative audience. And look at what the Democrats are doing. It was excuse me, it's going to be a completely different tune once they go to the presidential stage. Once they've picked, the DNC's picked whoever they're going to pick, they're not going to be singing the same tune when they're debating with Trump. They're going to drop all those things, and they're saying them just to say them. I mean, Elizabeth Warren wasn't a fucking communist until 5 minutes ago, talking about all this free stuff, eliminate college debt, all this Bernie Sanders jazz. She wasn't like that until 5 minutes ago. Then she's not going to be like that on the campaign trail, only when she's talking to an all-Democrat audience. When she's debating Trump, fuck no. Because he's just going to repeat again and again, and how are you going to pay for that without blowing taxes through the roof? No one's saying that on the stage right now.
Yeah, and it's like if their nominees don't shoot themselves in the foot, their supporters are gonna, because damn, look what's going around. It's like, like everybody keeps saying like these Trump supporters are the most intolerant, violent ones and things like that. But every time you turn around, it's the other way around. They're the ones doing all the attacking. They're the one that's doing all the, the fascism and all the crazy things that they're claiming that the Trump supporter and the conservatives are doing. And it's like come election, come like voting time and things like that. Oh, I can just see a whole lot of especially white Trump supporters and things like that. There are going to be so many attacks. It's going to be ridiculous because there's already attacks right now. I think the only reason why me as a Trump supporter is not being attacked is because of my skin color. I'm being attacked verbally, but they ain't gonna put their hands on me physically.
Right.
That and they know I'll beat their ass down.
I don't know. Do you get it online?
I get a lot online, man. Like I said, basically, like you're a traitor to your race and all that right there. You're Uncle Tom and all that. Just your typical, like you're a sellout, stuff like that. Other than that,
sure.
Shoot.
Okay, but I mean, I'm not trying to get in your business, but like online is online. People are going to take the obvious routes that they're going to take. Mm-hmm. I don't mean somebody getting in your face personally like a fight, but do you hear people suggesting that idea to you, like in real life, that you should be voting a certain way, thinking a certain way, Trump not supporting whatever?
Oh, here where I live at, like like in the black neighborhoods, when they find out what my standing is and things like that, they tell them, like I'm saying, like, you a fool, we black people, we don't vote Trump and all that right there. And I'm like, why? They never have no explanation or nothing like that. It's just like, that's just how it is. No, that's just how it is in your terms right there. That's the difference between me and you. I actually think for myself. I don't just go by this, we black people, so therefore we supposed to do things this way. And, it gets them all mad and all reared up and things like that, to the fact where it's like, they want to do something, but then they look at my physical form and they're like, yeah, I don't think I want to test this guy right here.
Because once upon a time, a long time ago, the Democrats managed to convince the African American community that the Republicans hated them and wanted never want anything that's in their best interest. Mm-hmm. And it's been carried down from generation to generation, and they won that fight.
Yeah,
And
because they got black people just as a whole and things like that. They got them mentally convinced, like yeah.
Mhm.
And there have been a few of us, who have broken away from that, broken away from that right there, and we're the ones that basically get lambasted, like like mentally and things like that, by the black neighborhoods and stuff like that, by the black celebrities, and like saying by the white liberals and all that whoop whoop right there. But it's like, hey, that's just but it's like as we go and things like that, people are like slowly, like coming to the terms and things like that. So it's like they're basically, relying upon like our naiveness and all that right there, and they're relying on like like the black people, like especially like the popular black celebs and things like that to keep us in that goddamn state of mind and things like that. Like oh like such and such popular celebrity supports this and that right there, and I think they're all good, so I'm going to follow them just because they like it. So it's like that's how they keep like a certain mass of black people like in that damn range right there. Well, me, I think for myself, I see the good and bad on both sides, and I'm not afraid to call it out.
I don't. The thing that disappoints me the most is about politics in general. Like on a national level, I can understand it because it's diffused politics. It's you're thinking about a president, you're thinking representative of you. That's the absolute wrong way to think of a president of the United States. They're not your representative. That's Congress. But people have come to think of it that way. All right. What I can't abide by is it's blunt by some people's reckoning, but not by mine. You got like Maxine Waters. You're a poverty pimp, Maxine. You are. That's what you do. You talk like you're for the people in your given district, and you've moved from district to district to district, and you've been in the House forever and a day. And what district have you ever left better? How many bills that you proposed have ever been passed? It's like 5% of the bills she's proposed in her decades-long service, if you can even call it service. She lives in the wealthiest area every single time of every district that she represents. And you go to the Root, like online publications, like I'm talking rags. You go to Essence magazine that's been around forever and a day. She's Auntie Maxine. That's what they actually call her. And it's journalists doing this, writers doing this. Oh, everyone knows Maxine. She's not your aunt. She doesn't care. It's local level politics that get to me. Like, this is the person you're sending to represent you? This person? Why? Because she gives Trump hell? What is that doing for your district? Nothing.
It's because of the color of her skin. Because if Elizabeth Warren was doing the exact same thing, they would not be calling her Auntie Elizabeth.
Yeah, and so long as she can blame everything on such and such and this and that, mostly white people and all that right there, that's what they're gonna basically go by. They're not gonna just look at what she did and all that right there. It's easy to just do it. Oh, it's the white man's fault. That excuse has been existing for so damn long. That's what it basically goes right there. With people like Maxine and shit.
And I mean, it's not just her. It's like I'm gonna ask. I would love to talk to the people in Ilhan Omar's district. How have things gotten better? What bills did Representative Omar put forth that supported your interests, that vote? You know what I mean? Like actual questions that you would think, the constituents of a given representative would have answers for, or be at least interested in. I think the majority of it is going to be, she's flashy, she talks, she's well known. Like it's a celebrity thing. Like a weird, vague celebrity thing. I can't think of another way to describe it. We're going to vote for her because she's like up on the cover of Rolling Stone and shit, because she's constantly being interviewed. We have a celebrity representative. There's 435 of them, and they actually know who ours is. That's the best guess I got. I mean,
that a question like that will mainly be fighting words, because you obviously anytime you question, somebody from the squad, like I'm saying, how do they supporters react? They react violently.
I mean, what would be the sweetest fucking sour grapes of all for me? Like, you're not supposed to enjoy somebody else's failure. I mean, that's really not a good thing, to enjoy someone else's failure. That's poison to your soul to do that. But sometimes, man, I would love to see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lose the election, like her election for her district. Oh, that would be fucking just Okay, yeah, the news entertainers, the journalists, whatever, they love you. But even the people in your own district saw through you. Nationally, she polls so low in terms of likability. And it's like nationally doesn't matter because those aren't the people who vote for her. You know what I mean? But in her own district polls, she's at 40%. 40%. Donald Trump has better polling than you, Ocasio-Cortez. You think about that for a fucking minute. Like across the entire country.
Speaking of,
I mean, shit.
speaking of Ilhan Omar, there's like videos and like screenshots going around that says her husband, and Aisha Gomez and stuff like that they were actually at, at that that Minnesota Trump rally that happened not too long ago. There was a lot of protesting and a lot of craziness going on.
I know of it.
They said there were like pictures of them, like I'm saying, catching them up in the mix. They all masked up and things like that, but they got like screenshot of people who look just like them. I'm like, damn, it's either them or they got really good doppelgangers.
That's a good question. I haven't seen those screenshots. I don't know. I'd like to look at that actually.
I said it's like I'm tweeting them out right now, and I'm like, it looks just like them. Like, so, I know they say everybody has a doppelganger, and I believe that, but it's like, man, that would be a trip, if these three dumbasses actually got caught out there.
Okay, here's something Becca said. Isn't Ilhan Omar's district predominantly Somalian refugees?
Yes, it is.
There is a hell of a lot of Somalian refugees there, but not enough to account for the amount that voted for her. It's more the local party. I forget the name of the Minnesota party that is supported by the DNC. They're what's his name? Ellis. He went on to be the state attorney general. Former Nation of Islam guy back in the 90s on into Minnesota politics. I forget his first name. Someone in chat might remember, but it's whoever that party puts forth that there's so much trust in that party. And yeah, they have that Somali refugee contingent strongly voting for them. Yes, but it's not entirely them. It's more that party that has such a lockdown on the politics in that area.
Mm-hmm. And Ilhan's Dix, like I said, they got like the Somalian refugees and things like that, but it's mostly consist of a bunch of like white liberals and all that right there, and that's where they get the majority of it. Like as you see in this protest stuff like that, you basically seen like you seen like a small handful of like I'm saying Somalian people and things like that, but it was just mostly like I'm saying like white guilty liberals.
Well, see, here's the thing, the party of the voting dead? He asks. Mr. Scott, nice. Well, okay, I would say this. It's like black folks want to be a viable demographic electorally, like meaning a force to be reckoned with, something that actually has to be considered, not just something that lip service needs to be paid to. It's not unique to any demographic inside of an electoral system of how to do it. You know what I mean? You have to be a volatile electorate, meaning your vote isn't guaranteed. And you need to show up in large numbers. Like if you're able to vote, you're registered to vote, you actually show up to vote. Like
there's also that, but you also have to be a big enough number to matter. And
remember, most elections are swayed by 5 to 8% of the swing voters.
True, but as far as like a percentage, African Americans are on the decline and quickly being replaced by
Hispanics. Yeah.
Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. So how do you matter? In like, especially when you're a decline percentage. I hear exactly what you're saying, Eve. I absolutely agree. Like, why is it that up on the DNC stage when they're debating, they're talking in Espanol, not Ebonics? Why are they no longer providing lip service to the African American demographic? Why are they now all Espanol to the nines? Because it's
twins changing.
Yeah, it's 16% of the population versus 12.8. I think the last census was for black folks. Yeah, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
That's less and less and less. And if keep in mind, if the DACA residents plus, it's like, why don't we just make everyone who's here illegally and has been here for a long time citizens? Why don't we just give them a path to citizenship like immediately? Do you have any idea what that would do to the demographic percentages? People, I love how people are constantly pointing at, oh, well, white folks are just afraid to be a minority in the United States. Yeah, they're the ones who are going to get the hardest hit. That's right. Sure. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that. It's all of the POCs versus white people. Yeah, politics have always been that simple. No, it's not. It's who's it going to hit hardest? Black folks. Where's black unemployment the highest? In the places where illegal immigration is the highest. That's not an accidental coincidence. You want to fight black unemployment, black standard of living? I mean, with a whole bunch of illegal immigrants drawing from the system. And I'm not trying to make a leech argument. I'm simply trying to say it's a matter of economics. When any area where you have a whole bunch of people drawing on the welfare system, there's less to go around. Every major city is an example of it. Right? Grant Lionheart, brown is the new black. That's an ugly way to say it, but it's...
Well, like I said, yeah, it's an ugly way to say it, but it's actually, kind of true. Like,
I don't want to see... The last thing I want to see is a better way to say it, is black folks have gotten the short end of the stick since before America was America. And now they're being supplanted in terms of interest of the government, in terms of writing things. It's now about border issues and illegal immigration issues more. So now getting the raw end of the stick once again. I don't see black folks that are writing for 1619 for the New York Times, black writers that write on all these issues. I don't see them talking about it. I don't see The Root talking about it. It's always couched in terms of white supremacy. It's all of the POCs versus white people. And it's like, jackass. It's not remotely that simple. Illegal immigration is not in black folks' interest in the U.S. It's not.
But it is, Polly, because they're fellow POCs and you have to stand together in solidarity against the nasty, evil white man.
Yeah, that's until, like I said, like those POCs start doing better than them, but then all of a sudden they become the new evil.
You know what the problem? I've pointed that out on campus in the most gentle way that I could. Like, I didn't use any of the language that I just used now. I didn't use any pithy little statements like black is new brown, like, or anything like that. I just said the group hardest hit in terms of immigration, standard of living, education levels, and so on, access to healthcare, etc., that are hardest hit by illegal immigrants are African-American communities where illegal immigration residency is the highest. And somebody said to me, and this person was white, said that is a classic white tactic of supremacy, of divide and conquer. What you just said. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, they're numbers, and I'm not trying to get into the arguments of like numbers don't lie and blah, 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 blah. I just mean ignoring that fact for the ideological satisfaction of what Eve just said, of United Front, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's some Twitter talk. That's some 280 character nonsense that don't matter, fellow POC. What the fuck does that even mean? There's no substance in that.
But let's be real. If you went into a black neighborhood and asked, your average black person on the street who they would trust more, would it be the Hispanic guy or the white guy? Most of them are probably going to say the Hispanic guy over the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a tough question. It's like, I don't know how they would. I don't know.
It's been so ingrained in them to be mistrustful of whitey and.
But is it though? I mean, you understand the idea of social desirability. It comes up in social psychology all the time. How do people think I want to answer? It can be demonstrated experimentally. You tell a whole bunch of people, hey, here's a questionnaire of 25 questions. We're going to get a whole bunch of people for this study, 100 people, to answer this questionnaire, 25 questions. And they're told it's a deceptive study. They're lied to and told that the study is about work performance. Or, and they'll answer it in a certain way. Okay. You tell another group of people that this study is about work performance of women. How do you think women perform? They will answer differently. It's like, why would you answer differently? Social desirability. What do people think? How do I think they want me to answer? You see what I'm saying? You can adjust in that way. It's like the exit polls for Trump. It's an example of social desirability. Who did you vote for? They actually voted for Trump, but they lied. Because the exit polls are completely out of balance with how the vote actually turned out.
Mm-hmm. Because the social acceptability of being able to say, well, I voted for Trump was just it was bad. You couldn't say that and excuse me.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't say that and not get lambasted by your friends and neighbors. Nobody was just going to say, well, why did you vote that way? They were going to go, you racist, sexist, homophobic bigot.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, when I voted for Trump, oh man, I lost so many supposed like friends and shit like that.
Jesus,
and that's what it was. Like
really?
they didn't even hear me out whine things like that. Just, you voted for Trump. I don't know you no more. It's like that's just how how fucking brainwashed they were.
Mm-hmm.
Trump made this argument, and I know it wouldn't work, and it's completely idealistic to think it would work, but idealistically, like in a fantasy world, it's the best argument you can make. Remember when he was talking to an audience of largely black folks and said, what have you got to lose? Really? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like, you're gambling with your life and nobody's going to do that. Do I really want to take that chance? But Jesus Christ, really, what do you have to lose? How could things, go worse for you? Did they really get better in your community underneath Democratic leadership? Did they? Like,
no.
I get the idea. You don't want to vote for somebody you think is a racist and hates you, and they're going to cut you right out of the system, the little access you do have to it. Okay, I get that anxiety. But could it be much worse? If it's really as bad as you're complaining, what have you got to lose? Fuck it.
I think the worst thing when it came to Trump, what he basically did to black people, he got them off their ass. That's what I'm saying, And go to some black people, that's a horrible thing because it's like when you sit up here and you live and you hustle off the damn system and things like that, it's like, for somebody to tell you to get up off your ass and earn your damn keep, it's just like, hey, you're a horrible person for making me, do this.
Is that your interpretation of the low black unemployment rate now? Trump made them get off their ass?
Yeah. I know it may be jacked up sounding to say, but yes, like, and there's a lot of boy that they got bad to the motherfucker too. And the sad part is the main part of the black community that's complaining about the election and stuff like that didn't even go out there and freaking vote. It's like they never vote, but they complain like they did. And that's what gets me as well, like how you gonna get mad at me for the way I voted and stuff like that when you didn't get out there and attempt, Well, one of them actually told me I got warrants, so
Well, okay, that's what I mean. Like, if eligible to vote and registered to vote, and can you go vote? Like, there becomes the thing. Like, are you actually able to vote? And if you are, didn't you? And who has the lowest turnout numbers as a demographic? Well, it's African Americans. But let's take a look at who has the highest. Because that's instructive. People are always talking about the most powerful lobby in Washington is the NRA. Oh, you fucking morons. It's not even close. Not even fucking close. Take a look at how much money the NRA actually doles out to candidates. I was talking about the NRA has them in their pockets. No, they're not. The National Shooting Sports Foundation is the lobbying group that you should be concerned about if you hate guns. It's like, who the hell's that? National Shooting Sports Foundation? I've never even heard of them. That's because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You've been listening to too many news entertainers repeat NRA over again. National Shooting Sports Foundation is put together by gun companies to lobby for their interests, to continue to be able to produce firearms. That's the more powerful gun lobby in Washington. They dole out more money and have more sway over politicians than the NRA does. The NRA just has a fuck ton of members and can sway their voting preferences. That's their power. The power's in their membership. But who's more powerful than them? Do you know who the most powerful lobbying agency in Washington is?
Yeah.
It's the Association for the Advancement of Retired Persons. The AARP. Why?
Really?
Yeah, it is. By a long shot. They've got their own credit cards. They've got their own deals with car rental companies for cruises. They've got their own medical benefit plans. They've got, oh, Jesus Christ, the AARP. The list go on and on and on about all the benefits they offer their members. Why? Because anyone who's, 55 years or older can be a member? Of course you're going to join them. They're lobbying on your behalf. They've got a huge membership. Who is the most active voting constituent in the United States? Old people. Doesn't matter by race, demographic, whatever, gender, doesn't matter. As soon as you're old, you start voting because you care. For whatever reason, I'll let political scientists who deal with electoral politics for a living come up with an answer as to why. The point is, they do. It's like, why is everything geared towards Medicare and Medicaid for old people? Because they're a huge voting bloc, and every single one of them almost votes powerfully. Mm. So when the AARP calls, your goddamn right senators pick up the phone. And it's like, this representative from this black church calls. Okay, you represent 75 voters. You represent 180 voters. Okay. The AARP representative represents millions. When they call, they pick up the phone. Because they can actually sway elections. The AARP's monstrously powerful. Yeah, and Becca says it. Boomers. Yeah, that's what I think. The blunt truth is you're not wrong. It's boomers run things. Why? Because they actually bother to vote. I mean, what was the turnout in the last election? It was high. And high was low 40s%. I mean, Jesus Christ, less than half the people who could vote did vote. And you're going to fucking complain about it now like you're under the oppression of Trump when you didn't even vote? Mm-hmm. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what trips me up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right, Eve.
I didn't do it.
Can you take over for a second? I want to go grab a drink. It's your job to force Farzus me back into the conversation. I'll be right back.
You'll never take me alive.
Okay. I was just gonna say, so far, we should probably maybe we could talk about something girly for a second. How about that?
I'm still here.
No, nobody missed it. Nobody. Okay. Anyway, Far, as a person who doesn't live in the U.S., what is your take on all this?
I wasn't really listening. Sorry.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard politics. It's my time. This is my time to start drawing shit. Yes, good.
She's like, this is the U.S. thing, so I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's the thing, is you want to live here one day, so you probably should start paying attention now.
Yeah.
Probably, but at the same time, I barely pay attention to my own politics, so,
Back. Is she talking yet?
Enough. Huh?
Said I'm back. Is she talking yet?
Sort of. Kind of. She started drawing because we were talking about politics.
Well,
which is not something I wish to discourage, because Far art is good art, but
Far art is great art. So, Eve, what was the name of this e-thought that I was talking about earlier?
Pokemon?
Oh, well, yeah, her too. But no, the other one. What's her name?
Alenity.
Alenity.
Oh, God, what has she done now?
Oh, nothing. That I know of. I was just watching a what do you want to call it? Retrospective video that somebody put together. The Right Opinion. Have you ever heard of this YouTuber?
Yep.
Yeah. English guy or British guy rather, whatever. His vocal presentation is good. It's snarky, it's sarcastic, and he seems to have the right opinion. Sorry, but it's true. When it comes to these things, and he was just kind of like laying out, here's what happened with Alinity, and I seem to remember some of that stuff, and I definitely remember the clip, and it blew my mind to watch it again, where she's holding up that whatever it was, meat pie, bowl of noodles, or whatever, and she's watching PewDiePie talking about her and called her a Twitch thought. And it wasn't even her directly, it was somebody else that he called a Twitch thought, and then he saw a video clip of her and then kind of repeated it, and so he goes, oh, I'm copyright striking him for that, just for saying that. And the way she said it, like you can't even stop streaming long enough to fucking eat. You're sitting there eating on camera. Who are you, Pokemon? These people kill.
And
Sorry, go ahead, Pat. What were you saying?
No, I was about to say in the wild part, he wasn't even talking about her directly. You know, he was talking about like I think it was like he was watching like a what they call it, contemplation, whatever they call that word, shit like that. Yeah, that right there. You know, he was just watching a whole slew of them. I'm gonna say that right. Of like you know, like of like all these Twitch girls and things like that. And he referred to all of them, you know, as somewhat his thoughts. But she was just in that mix right there. And basically, you know, she was the only one out of the whole entire group that just like, oh my God, he called me a thought. I'm gonna copyright this and act a damn fool.
Hey, and what kills me is it's like, I'm gonna copyright strike this, and then the whole thing that came out of it, and I didn't know a lot of the parts of all the fallout of it. Like, it's not really a copyright strike, it's a claim. She's an idiot and doesn't know what she's saying. And then PewDiePie says this thing, and then she releases this statement. And let me tell you something. That statement she didn't write. Obviously did not write. She's not capable of that level of verbal eloquency. You know, it was just, it's full of words that I would love to quiz her. Tell me, what does disgruntled mean? You're like, come on, honey, you didn't write this. Who wrote this? And the way she gets up at the middle of the fucking end of the video, she actually puts the, whatever it was, pie, bowl of noodles, whatever, stands up and goes, yo, can I copyright? As she's walking away from her own fucking live stream that's currently running, walks away from the camera to talk to someone in the background and go, yo, can I sue that PewDiePie guy for calling me names? Actually fucking said it on the fucking...
Yeah, I remember that. That was like, oh my God, you dumb bitch.
And so that's probably who wrote what she was saying.
Yeah, whoever the fuck that was in the background. Yeah, that's... And that guy got all involved in it, or the representative of DRM something. I can't recall the name of it. It was...
It's not ad revenue for a third party?
No, it's not. I love that was the name of an actual claimant at one point.
No, it is still around. They claimed me. Yeah. They got me.
They got you.
I will mock those fuckers till the... just forever. Like, holy shit, it's such a dumb name.
What did they get you for?
Oh, it was like some piano clip I used in a Splatoon video a while back.
No. Far. Tell the whole story. What was the music that was being played?
Wasn't it like the Sting? I'm pretty sure, like
no,
something from
The Entertainer.
The Entertainer.
Yeah.
You mean something that is public domain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Entertainer.
I'm not real high up on my copyright, but I'm pretty sure that song is so old it's outside of.
Yeah, no, I've known this thing so long. I've always known it to be kind of just out of copyright.
That song,
which is why I was like,
that song
I'll use that for this
motor
shit. This is like the song. This is like the song that drives my mom nuts because it was one of the dancing songs we had to do. It was always in the background. So it's just like, yeah, that's free to use. I'll just use that. But no, copyright for a third party.
Oh God.
So in any case, she got all into that thing. And, Ebony asked, who are we talking about? I got off on a trail. We were talking about, fuck, I've already forgot her name. What's Alencia? What is it? Alenity. See, I don't give a fuck about any of these e-thoughts and what they're doing and what they're up to. But the point is, they're a bunch of fucking airheads. Everybody knows it. Like, you watch Pokemon, and she drives me more crazy than any of them because she seems the ditziest of all of them. And it blows my mind that people want to tune in just to watch some girl. Okay, fine. You do. You're can't knock the hustle. All right, I won't. I'll knock it in so far as to say you bug me. And that's it. Look, you can't tell them that they shouldn't be doing that. I've thought about this. And they have millions of followers, these people. The e-thoughts, I mean. They're doing their morning stretching in yoga pants. But they're not trying to be sexual. They're bending over in front of the camera all the time. But don't talk to me sexually. They got titty cleavage hanging out all the time. They do their fucking makeup. They're showing up for a stream deliberately to appeal to guys. Something tells me that they don't have a very large female audience. Mm-hmm. But don't call them e-thoughts. And all that, I still don't care. Because it's celebrities that annoy me from Hollywood, not these people. As upset as people get at e-thoughts, Like, imagine if Pokimane started telling you her thoughts on politics. Would anybody care? No, I support Ilhan Omar. Like, fuck, shut up. Go do a React video.
People who care would be dudes who suck her clit and lap up everything she puts out. The kind of guys that buy Belle Delphine's bathwater. I mean,
Belle Delphine. Imagine if she started commentating on how much she doesn't like that strange orange man in the White House.
Oh,
People would be like, "Thanks for the input, honey." And that should be.
That's all she refers to him as, just that strange yellow man in the White House that she doesn't even know his name.
no, but
that strange yellow man, he freaks me out. He's in my nightmares. Buy my bathwater, guys.
But yes, like, some would, I'm saying, just be like, oh yeah, right there. They would cheer for the just simple fact, like, it's Belle Delphine and they want to stick their dick in her.
But see, Ebony says, don't let the Twitch thoughts get you down. I'm not. What I'm doing is trying to make a point about Hollywood celebrities. Do you really, and I mean, think about this for a second. Do you really think that Reese Witherspoon is any smarter than Belle Delphine? She ain't.
Oh, hell no.
No. They're just on a higher level of promotion and have better people writing their stuff for them. Because when Alenity needed to talk professionally, she had someone to write her shit. Hollywood celebrities have people to write their shit for them.
Yeah, like Alyssa Milano is on the top of that fucking list.
That's what I'm saying. They are equally as airheaded as these e-thoughts. I consider the e-thoughts, if anything, more authentic than Hollywood celebrities because they are just as stupid as they appear to be because they don't have an entire posse of people around them, like Hollywood celebrities do, to make them look smart, at least passably intelligent. Hollywood celebrities do. They should be treated on the same level Hollywood celebrities should as e-thoughts, where it's like, Mark Ruffalo, you're going to start telling me what you think about. Shut up. I don't care what you think. You're in what film next? You're an actor. Why do I care what you think? And that's not shut up and act. That's just, why would I listen to your thoughts on politics? You do react videos and play video games. In the same way, why should I care what you think about politics? You play roles in film.
Because they have that huge audience and they use that platform and things like that to try to convince them to, basically go on the side, where they think it benefits from. Like, for instance, like I'm saying, liberalism benefits, Hollywood and stuff like that. So that's why you got a whole lot of celebrities basically, saying, you need to support the liberals, you need to do that, you need to vote for this and that and everything because they benefit, they benefit off of that because that's who's basically running them.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Evolved Potato says, say what you want about Belle Delphine, but selling her bathwater was smart as hell. I absolutely agree. I like, unironically, I absolutely agree. It was smart as hell. I'm glad she sold out. Good for you. That's not knocking the hustle, but make no mistake about it. If Scarlett Johansson could not get any more movie roles, that bitch would be selling her bathwater. They're not so different.
It's one of those things of, I can't knock her for taking advantage of something that she saw an opportunity in. Fair enough. What I knock is the idiots who actually pay for it.
Yeah, it's like with Alyssa Milano, she can't nail them Hollywood roles like she normally do. That's the reason why she's in politics now, because it keeps her in the damn spotlight.
I know. And isn't it so obvious to people that support her that she doesn't have a cause? She's got all the causes. She talks about everything. Like, it focuses
on her out on it. It's great.
If it's popular, she's on it.
Yeah. I mean, you'd want to do it in this. I'd want to do it in the same way that people run experiments like those. That group of 4 instructors, grad students, and professors that put together a whole bunch of fake peer-reviewed papers and submitted them and got them published, and then exposed like, hey, these were fake papers. As a matter of fact, this one was just a reworded Mein Kampf. And you guys went through the peer-reviewed process.
Great.
Yeah, and you published it in the same sense. The same mode, I would love to see a whole bunch of people pressure, a whole bunch of trans people would be great, but non-binary people pressuring Alyssa Milano to be, you need to stop engendering everything and blah, 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 just to see how quick she would put her pronouns in her Twitter bio and start calling out people. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Alyssa, we conned you. We're not non-binary. You're just an idiot. You fell for it. Whatever's the most popular, trendy thing to be outraged over, you are it. You're talking about it.
But here's what you got also have to understand, like how you said, like Hollywood, they have their team, so it's like they have these people find out, like what's popular, what's what's really serious and whatnot and things like that. So it's like, I don't know, like have we seen Alyssa jump on something like that stupid and being like, you got played, right? I don't think she has yet, but it's like we've seen her team, say some dumbass shit right there, but it's like, it hasn't got to it just yet.
Now talking about it, I think it would just end up being reversed. 4chan starts this dumbass meme that actually worked at the OK symbol's a symbol of white power, right? Well, according to the SPLC, yes, it is, in fact. No, it was the ADL that identified it as, it's an authentic hate symbol now, the OK symbol. So it's like, Alyssa Milano would just authentically pick up trans issues and claim that they just spin it. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a lot of people looking to call out people that go around being outraged all day. Call them out. Tell them to shut up is what I mean by call them out. It's like, oh, really? You're another outraged person? That's shocking. And ridicule them to the point where they don't want to do it anymore. Ryan Walters brings up goop. Yeah, good point. Gwyneth Paltrow's goop. That is not very far at all from Belle Delphine's bathwater.
Did you see John Tron's expose?
Yeah.
I say expose because he literally just went through her stuff and was just like, can you believe this shit?
Yeah.
And then set up a booth selling snake oil right across from one of her stores.
When Gwyneth Paltrow is sitting down to talk about, Endgame. I'm in this movie and it's all really important. I would love to be that journalist who blows their career up just for the fuck of it by saying, aren't you the woman who sells crystal vagina eggs online? That's you, right? Yeah. Okay. Just checking. So, I want to talk about how important this role is and what it means for women to see representation. So, seriously, what was the crystal vagina egg supposed to do?
Everything. You don't have a vagina, Polly. Very important to women's vaginal health.
No, it's not. If anything, that's extremely unsanitary. I hope
those are hate facts.
Well, I hope instructions come along with that little crystal pod that you're supposed to stick up your hoo-ha that are make sure you clean it off and disinfect it. Don't just handle it with your bare unwashed hands and then move it fro, because that's not going to be good for you. That's probably really unhealthy to do that. I'm no OBGYN, but...
No, it's absolutely unhealthy to do that.
Seriously.
That's no, that's a bad idea.
I can't believe I just said I hope instructions come with the crystal vagina egg.
No instructions come with that. That kind of thing. It's just kind of well, here's your crystal vagina egg. Have fun.
I can honestly see someone having a bad septic reaction because they didn't, sanitize it, right? And then put it somewhere that's sensitive to...
Absolutely, yeah.
What it will come with, Polly, is a little tiny disclaimer saying that we don't guarantee this will work.
What was it supposed to do? What the hell was it supposed to do anyway? Just general crystal positive energy? Was that the shtick?
I have no fucking clue.
Man, this is a bar conversation if I've ever had one. We're just...
Yeah. Do you go to bars often to talk about crystal vagina eggs, Polly?
No, just to mock dumb shit where it's just like, wait a minute, that's a thing? Yeah, that's a thing. How's that a thing? I don't fucking know. I just like things that are so outside the realm of 99.9% of everybody's experience. I mean, that stuff that she's selling on Goop and all of those things, they're not, the target market is so obviously not us. And I mean, any of you in chat, any of you up here with me at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
obviously like for those, people that are really into their new age shit, where it's like, oh yes, this crystal vagina egg, it'll restore your chakras.
But I mean, like all of that shit, like ladies out in the audience, ladies up here at the bar, the makeup, okay, as an example. The products that they sell on, what was that dude that looks like a girl that told off the old lady that started her on YouTube and that turned into a big thing? James Charles. I love I was able to be that vague and you still know who I meant.
Yeah, I hate that I didn't remember the guy's name, honestly. This is just... God.
James Charles, all those products that they shill are health food stuff that you can buy in the pharmacy section and the nutrient section at Walmart.
Gummies?
Yeah.
Like literal vitamin gummies?
They were gummy versions of melatonin and they were like a sleep aid. Like that was part of the big thing that her and her aged weird adopted aunt got all mad over. Like it was, I'm going to push this company's shit. And then she's like, well, I sell that same shit. And you've stabbed me in the back because you're promoting some other company's garbage you can buy at Walmart instead of my garbage that you can buy at Walmart. Like seriously, you can buy it. It's high quality. It's available. Yeah. If you want to buy super high end stuff at health food stores, or you can just go to Walmart or your local supermarket and buy it. It's called melatonin. That's all that's in it. And other herbs that are meant to lower anxiety and stuff like that. That there's some, but doubtful clinical evidence that they work. But you can buy them for really cheap. You know how much those things are going for? We looked it up on their website. They're insanely expensive. We're not the target audience for this. Whoever the fuck is watching these videos and saying, yeah, I want to buy that. Like, who the fuck's paying your credit card bills? You're buying this shit.
Someone's dad. Like really, that's who's doing it. We know it. We all know it.
God damn it, Gwyneth Paltrow's dad. What did you do?
Oh God.
That dude that looks like a girl equals James Charles. Yes, Mr. Dax, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I'm just come on.
He's not wrong though.
I keep wanting to call her she because she speaks with a higher voice and does makeup like would be associated with traditional feminine makeup is the best way I can say it. Don't tell me you're not doing a woman's makeup as most people would assume a woman's makeup is. I'm not even trying to hate on anyone who wants to do cross-dressing or is in transitioning or anything like that. It's like you claim to be a gay man, but yet you wear a woman's makeup on the daily. I don't get it, but okay, that's fine. What I will, I don't even take an issue with that, but I do take umbrage at you selling really marked up cheap crap that can be bought anywhere for less. That makes you a scamster. And I'll never forget the line. She held it up and goes, I have a lot of anxiety and they're really sometimes I can't sleep and this really helped calm me down to sleep. And on top of which they taste so bomb. They taste so bomb.
Oh my God. They taste so bomb.
Anyway.
But Polly, they taste so bomb. Like, who the fuck even says that seriously?
Weird hipsters that 90s alternate
they never
slang
left the 90s.
And now
they never left the 90s.
I think they're
retro.
Holy
shit.
I think they're retro throwing back to the 90s. This is bomb. They now say dope again. Dope has come back sort of like in an ironic hipster way. It's not really a cool slang word anymore. Dope and bomb have fallen out of regular usage as slang, but now they're using it as because they're a bunch of weirdo social media hipsters. Best guess. I don't know. I have no actual answers. That's my best guess because it makes no fucking sense. Yeah, Mr. Scott's like tubular. Yeah, next word. Watch.
I was gonna point out
Cowabunga.
if you want to ask somebody who does that kind of makeup work about it, Tanky Boy's in chat, aka Schoolboy, as most of us knew him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some strong opinions on extremely overpriced, not worth it makeup being shilled to people just for the sake of whoever the fuck's doing the shilling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does a bomb taste like? It's so bad.
Like Japan.
Wow.
I use dope all the time. That sounds bad coming from me.
Well, Mr. Dax asks about gummy bear quaaludes. Okay, let's get this is not a bad idea, but let's get quaaludes back on the market to begin with. Those of us who have insomnia shouldn't be held responsible for what a bunch of disco attending hopheads decided to do. That's my thought anyway.
It just makes you want to go back to the 70s even more, doesn't it, Volley?
Yeah, I was meaning to look up when Quaaludes were. Didn't we look it up the other day? I don't know. The stream's kind of melded.
No, well, that was the toothpaste.
No. Because I remember somebody actually looked up when it are Quaaludes actually a Schedule 1 drug? Are they were they made illegal or did they simply stop producing them? And it was no, they actually were a Schedule 1 drug. I forget where I was when somebody looked that up. I don't know. The stream's meld. I drink.
He has a concussion.
And speaking of me drinking,
Be using this. The concussion should be your excuse, Polly. Not I drink. No.
He drinks and he has a concussion.
Oh Lord, those two things don't go well together.
I have not been. Don't judge me. Okay, so
All the judge.
on that note, we have been running the stream for a little while, and I'm feeling the pressure. It's time to close the doors before the sun comes up because it's right around the corner. I haven't looked outside, but I'm assuming the sun's coming up. Yeah, I think it's time to end it like we always do. You don't have to go home and get the hell out of here because you can't stay. The cops is coming.
Monkey set him on us again.
Monkey.
Some hater out there called him on us. We just got the phone call, and the fuzz is on the way. Yeah. So I would like to, as I always do, thank everybody who kept me company at the bar, namely your boy Pat and Chaos Eve and Farzusmi. Evolved Potato has been generous as always, putting all of our links in chat, and I want to thank him for doing that. It's always greatly appreciated. I definitely wanted to thank all of the people who tipped the bartender during the stream. It is sincerely greatly appreciated. Hit me up on Twitter for any ideas you might have. God damn it, I didn't go look at hashtag Noir Bar. Fuck, I was going to do that.
Otto did specifically ask you to do it too.
Yeah, and I was reminded to do it too, and I still screwed up. You know what this is a sign of? I need to open Noir Bar more often. That's what's going on.
It is.
Yeah. It's
Stop worrying about the fuzz coming to bust.
Exactly. I need to do it more than once a week, and I'd like to too. I always have fun doing Noir Bar. It's a great time. And I did go look up, as I was telling Eve, don't worry, I won't drag you through the whole story. I'll let you guys go home to your nightcaps there. But a bunch of people suggested on Twitter, including Far, that instead of focusing so much on background music, I should focus on background sounds, glasses clinking, ambiance, ambient noises and stuff. And I absolutely did subsequently go look into that because it's a great idea. Add a little bit more ambiance and feel of it really being a bar. And I found some things that would work, some things that wouldn't. I got a little bit closer to there. A lot of tavern noises for D&D. Man, if you play D&D and you want some ambient noises like Mystical Forest or Busy Tavern or whatever for your gaming, Jesus Christ, go look on YouTube. There is a lot of really cool shit that people put a lot of work into creating background sounds for gaming. It's pretty fucking extensive. They got it set up. So I found some stuff. I'm working with some other stuff. I'll have it for next time. I only started editing some of the stuff together before the bar opened tonight. So that's a great idea, and I'll be going ahead with that. Still no luck on finding good copyright stuff, but I started talking to Mustafa and a couple other people that were suggesting original music that some people might create, and I'm definitely looking forward to looking into that. So there we go. Gokata says, extra length, longer lasting Noir Bar. Now with hashtags. I love it. So definitely check out Far's merch channel. Lots of great stuff going on over there. Definitely check out Chaos Eve's game streams. They're a hell of a lot of fun. I show up there from time to time as I can. And definitely check out your boy Pat's Psycho Rick channel. Lots of creepypasta and creepy reads and suspense stories and other things like that. I've enjoyed it. And frankly, your trailer is a little too creepy for me, Pat. Like, I mean, seriously, who the fuck edited that shit together, man? It's frightening.
I did that.
Did you? Man, major win, because it fucking works, dude. It's seriously. I watched it on the last. What, you did a retrospective on who? I'm trying to remember. I drank.
Oh no, on the Psycho Rick or my Your Boy Pat channel?
It was on the Your Boy Pat channel, and it was a quick retrospective on, remember when somebody did this and you put the trailer for the Psycho Rick channel in the video?
Oh yeah, that's when I did the thing about Tana Mojo and iDubbbz,
right.
You know, when they had that thing going down. And I'm about to drop another one. Like I said, I'm almost done with it, but it's gonna be like hopefully drop down about Monday. About the whole like Roman Millennial Lacey Green thing right there.
Nice. I had almost completely forgotten about that whole thing with iDubbbz and Tana and that whole deal. It was almost gone from my memory until I watched that video and I was like, oh yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, like with this little thing, you know, like coming back. I'm just basically like going back in times when this and that happened, about like a whole lot of stories that were very popular, but I never picked up on them, mainly because, you know, like when I did, you know, everybody else had already dropped videos down. I'm like, well, shit, they said everything I'm going to say, so I'm going to leave that alone. So now it's like, you know, time has gone by. A lot of people have forgotten them, and I'm just here to remind them, like, remember when this happened?
Yeah, barely, but yes, now I do, actually. And you got all the right clips, and I thought it was a good idea to throw a trailer for the Psycho Rick channel, for the Creepy Spookums channel in there, because I was like, I hadn't actually seen that trailer, though I'd seen some Psycho Rick videos, so I was like, oh man, this is cool. Yeah, it's some frightening shit, and the right month for it, so your timing's on. All right. Enough of my sloppy trying to end the stream and then not actually being able to achieve it. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everybody for keeping me company at the bar, and thanks to all, especially Gokata, who tipped the bartender. Greatly appreciated. Have a good night, everybody. Hope to see you again soon.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
It's the fuzz.